commenced with the incorrect name murmured under her breath. Half asleep. A slip, she claimed. His name, not mine. It was the manner in which she uttered it that caused the fine hairs on my arms to bristle, gentle, familiar, practiced. The way you articulate something you've recounted 1,000 times before. I didn't speak. I didn't even inhale. Just observed her in the subdued illumination seeping through our bedroom blinds, her hand resting on my chest as if she belonged there. As if this bed still held significance. I gazed at the ceiling and repeated the name in my mind until it ceased sounding like a name and began feeling like a blade. The following morning, I kissed her farewell, informed her I'd be occupied with meetings all weekend. She smiled, and I returned the gesture, careful not to let it reach my eyes because I was already aware of her destination, and I already knew who would be awaiting her. But what she didn't know, what neither of them knew, was that I would be waiting too with his wife in the beach house I financed. The beach house was never hers. She enjoyed pretending it was, enjoyed decorating it, calling it her little sanctuary. But every nail, every tile, every bottle of overpriced wine chilling in the sub-zero refrigerator bore my name. My funds, my design. And yet that's where she took him. The same man she described to me as merely a colleague. The one whose messages she never permitted me to see. The one who started appearing in anecdotes more frequently than he should have. She didn't perceive me noticing. That's the nature of betrayal. Quiet at first, just a missing scent on her skin, a hesitation in her responses, laughter that didn't resonate with me. Then arrived the business trip that didn't align. The night she returned home flushed, too warm for winter. That incorrect name again, this time whispered into her wine glass. I said nothing. I simply watched and waited. The most challenging aspect of betrayal isn't discovering it, it's feigning ignorance. I moved in shadows. A name searched on her iPad. A synced calendar notification she neglected to disable. I tracked her routines like weather patterns, pressure dropping, storms approaching. I discreetly hired someone. Phone records, photographs, the whole package. He was married. Course he was. They invariably are. His wife, Elena, was quieter than I anticipated, colder too. Not in a way that signified indifference, but in a way that implied calculation. We met in a cafe. Neither of us ordered anything. She brought a folder, I brought inner silence. 2 months of surveillance. Stolen hours. Hotel receipts. Beach house security stills. Her red dress, my red dress, discarded on a stranger's bed. Elena didn't weep. She didn't even blink. We devised a plan. Not for vengeance, but for clarity. I informed my wife I'd be working through the weekend. She didn't even feign disappointment. They arrived just after sunset. She wore white. She always wears white when she desires to appear innocent. He carried the wine like a guest. I observed from the upstairs hallway. Elena was already inside, in the master bedroom, seated in the chair I habitually used when I read. We heard laughter, footsteps. They entered and froze. He was the first to speak. What the hell is? But then he saw her, his wife, and she saw me. 4 people, 2 marriages, 1 room. I stepped forward, handed my wife the folder Elena had brought. No words, just paper. She flipped through it slowly, like someone perusing an obituary. When she looked up at me, her face was ashen. I can explain. No, I said softly. You can't. They say revenge is sweet. It isn't. Still quiet. I turned to Elena. Ready? She nodded, rising without looking at her husband. My wife reached for me then. A reflex. A ghost of a touch. I moved back. You brought him here, I said. To my house. Tears welled, not grief but fear. What do you want from me? She whispered. Nothing, I replied. And I meant it. They stood there, 2 ruined people in love with their lies. I walked to the door, held it open for Elena. Before we departed, I glanced back once. "I paid for this weekend," I said. "Enjoy it." Then I closed the door behind us. Elena and I didn't converse on the drive back. We didn't need to. Some betrayals don't necessitate being avenged. They simply need to be witnessed. The truth possesses a way of enacting its own retribution. When I arrived home, I opened a bottle of scotch I'd been saving. Not for a celebration, but for a moment like this. I sat in the stillness of my living room, the weight of years lifting from my chest like fog burned off by dawn. No fury, no heartbreak, just clarity. She'll return. She'll plead. But she doesn't know I buried the man she married days ago. What remains of me now is something she can't touch and never anticipated. Final line. The man she betrayed is gone, and I don't miss him at all.